Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Z here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Avantree HS134 Wireless Bluetooth Earphones. So these are a pair of Bluetooth 5.0 earphones. You've got IPX7 water resistance on them, along with 9 hours of playtime, and that's stated on the packaging. Usually when you have the amount of time stated, you just minus that by about an hour or an hour and a half, and that's the time that you'll get with battery. So you can expect around 7.5 to 8 hours on a full charge with these earphones. Let's now talk about the hardware. So if you take a look at the earphones, you can see that they are very tiny, and I'd imagine the drivers in these are tiny as well. Now the ear tips on these are proprietary, so if you do happen to lose these or you want a larger size, good luck. But with that said, you can still fit a pair of aftermarket silicone ear tips on these nozzles. Now the cable on these seems pretty thin, and then the battery is located within the remote, which feels pretty good. It's got that rubber or silicone cover on it with the volume buttons as well as the pair button. Now the buttons are comboed up for other basic operations like powering on and off, pairing mode, pausing and playing your track, volume up and down, next track and previous track, answer call, reject call, and activating your voice assistant, whether it be Siri or Google Assistant. Now because you have Bluetooth version 5.0 with these earphones, you shouldn't expect any delay with the audio and video synchronization. So watching movies or YouTube should be on point. Now back to the ear tips for a second, because my ears are on the larger side and the ear tips that come with these earphones are pretty average or on the smaller side, so they don't exactly seal my ears. So here I am putting a larger aftermarket pair of ear tips on these earphones, and as I'm putting them in my ears, I am noticing that they are falling out quite frequently. So I really do need those shark fins that are on the proprietary ear tips, but I cannot remove them because they are attached. So far that's one thing I don't like about these HS134s. The ear tips with the fins only come in 2 sizes. That's average and small. And also to mention, the fins on these don't do a great job at keeping the earphones in my ears, so that's another thing. Alright, so I'm using the earphones, and right off the bat the sound is pretty decent, though I'm not getting that perfect seal that I was speaking about earlier in order to get that full dynamic range of sound, and I'm speaking more specifically with the lower end frequencies like the bass. Now if you do happen to have smaller ears and you manage to get a good seal with these earphones, the sound that you can expect with these is pretty balanced, I would say. So the bass is not an overpowering bass, though it is slightly pronounced. Now as for the mids and highs, I would say they're balanced and properly tuned so that they're not distorted and not too bright. So for the sound, definitely better than I expected, especially when considering the size of these earphones. They're pretty tiny if you guys haven't noticed already. Also, I did want to point out that these earphones are suitable for that dozing experience, so the volume does get pretty low. So again, you can definitely fall asleep while wearing these earphones because the volume does get very low. Now as for the distance between these earphones and my iPhone SE, I was able to get 40 plus feet. Now from one side of my house to the other it's about 40 feet, so I wasn't really able to test more than that. But then again, I don't see why you would want to use these more than 10 feet away from your device. Now as for the audio and video, those are on point. There is absolutely no delay whatsoever that I experienced using these earphones with my iPhone SE. And you can thank Bluetooth 5.0 for that. Now once again, as I mentioned earlier, I do have larger ears, and I did find these earphones to fall out of my ears quite often. So if you do have larger ears, then you can expect these to fall out of your ears very frequently. Now if you have smaller ears, then you're pretty much on the safe side. One more thing with these earphones is you cannot jog with them, since there will be a lot of wobble and they'll most probably fall out of your ears because they aren't balanced. There's the remote with the battery that's located on one side, which has an uneven weight balance and causes one of the earphones to fall out of the ears when jumping with them. Overall, I'd say that these earphones are okay. They're not the greatest, and they're also a little bit pricey, coming in at around 30 bucks. But that's pretty much the normal price right now of what earphones with a Bluetooth 5.0 are selling for on Amazon. So in this moment in time, you are kind of getting what you pay for, but I wouldn't recommend them for the people that have larger ears, since they will fall out quite frequently. for you guys. Or I wouldn't recommend these for the people out there that want to use these for the gym or for running or jogging. So I did buy these off Amazon myself with my own cash. I paid $30 and then I paid an extra $10 for shipping and import fees. So altogether I paid about $40 for them. And that's because I do live in Canada, so I did have to get these shipped from Amazon.com all the way to Canada. But if you do live in the US and you do have Amazon Prime, you'll be paying about $30 for these earphones. Hopefully the price will go down, but as for now, the price on these is around $30. Anyway, I'll have a link in the description below if you guys were interested in checking these out for yourself. Alternatively, I'll also link another pair of Bluetooth earphones on Amazon. They're called the Anker SoundPeats, and those are rated pretty high, and they also cost the same as these Avantree HS134s. So check them out. But otherwise, that's pretty much been it. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later. And for those wondering, this is what the microphone sounds like on the Avantree HS134s. And I'm using the voice memo app on my iPhone 6 to record this audio.